Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In case you're clicking in for the first time, hi, I'm Evelyn and it is so good to have you here today. Today we are talking about how to get out of the rut or how to regain motivation and take control of your life again. First of all, before we start this video, I would firstly want to ask you to think of why you're here, why you clicked into this video. And when you know why you clicked into this video, it's going to give you a reason why you need to maybe watch this video or why you need to take the steps necessary to get out of that place where you are and get back to the life you normally live, okay? And on how you regain control of your life, I'm going to talk about like routines, because most often you have this low phase like in a couple of days. You have to start with a day to change this crazy routine, right? We all get to a point in our lives where it just feels like nothing is working. There's no reason why you should be living, and you just feel like quitting on life, like just abandoning everything that you're up to or whatever it is that you've been doing and just let whatever happens happen. But then there are a lot of people, not just people, you need to learn how to show up for yourself. You need to learn how to regain motivation and get back to whatever it is that you were doing before you got in that road in the first place. And I'm going to show you how to do that through morning, afternoon, and evening routines, okay? So I'm going to start with the first part, which is your morning routine. Now, waking up on days like this are quite difficult, right? So I'm not expecting you to be up at 6 a.m. in the morning, or nobody expects you to be up at 7 a.m. in the morning, because that is why you are in this position in the first place. That's why you're in the rut. So no, I'm not going to expect you to wake up at 6, 7 or whatever. So let's look at a morning routine in a rough day of your life. Let's start at say 9 a.m. in the morning, because most often on these days you don't want to get out of bed. So let's say at 9 a.m. you try to get out of bed. On this rough day, when you wake up from bed, one thing I want you to do is pick up your phone and scroll through your phone, okay? I'm not going to be one of those people who come and sit down and tell you that, oh, don't wake up and scroll through your phone. Already you're going through a hard time. We are trying to make it a little bit easier. So pick up your phone and go through your phone for a couple of minutes. Scroll through your phone for a couple of minutes. Let's put it that way. But this is what you make differently. If you generally scroll on TikTok, try to save motivational videos on TikTok. Save them everywhere, maybe on Instagram, save them on YouTube or whatsoever. When you wake up on those rough days, try to scroll for a couple of minutes, but scroll through these videos. Just watch those motivational stuff. Because the honest truth is, most often when you're already in a rut, the kind of things you see, if you're not careful, if you don't control the kind of things you see, you're going to go deeper in that rut. So what you do is, in the morning, scroll through your phone, but scroll through those things, motivational content, right? That kind of uplifts you or just pushes you out of bed on that day, if that makes sense. And then the second thing I want you to do is try out the morning meditation. I know not everybody meditates in the morning, but if you're already going through a rough day, if you have a rough day, I suggest that you try to meditate. You must not do it for so long, just take 3 minutes. Sit down, put yourself in a quiet position and meditate for just 3 minutes. You can start with 3 minutes when you have these rough days, if you have a rough couple of days. Just start with 3 minutes. Eventually you can move to 5 minutes and 10 minutes or whatsoever. But just take 3 days in the morning to meditate on a rough day. Because one thing I can bet you on is that meditation is going to improve your concentration within the course of the day. So try and make out the 3 minutes or even 2 minutes to meditate. I know you say 2 minutes, isn't that too small? It's insignificant or whatsoever. But just try it out and you'll see what it does for you. The third thing I want you to do on mornings like that, when you have a rough day, the third thing I want you to do is set a small goal for that day. It could be going out to walk through the blocks for like 20 minutes. It could be doing 2,000, 3,000 steps or whatsoever. I'm not going to ask you to do 10,000 steps because already it's a rough day, which means you're literally forcing yourself to do all the things you're supposed to do. So just give yourself a small task on that day to accomplish, but make sure you give yourself at least something. It could be whatsoever, but just try to live up to whatever you said you were going to do for the day. And that brings us to point number 4. You could decide to either walk or do some stretches. It could be just 5-minute stretches. There are so many 5-minute guided stretches that you can find on YouTube. Just try to stretch your body for 5 minutes. I tell you, it makes you feel good. Just stretching out your body makes you feel so good. Just do that for 5 minutes. And for point number 6, what I suggest you do would be sit down for a minute and think about what your highest and most productive self will do early in the morning. What will your best self do the first thing they wake up in the morning? Just think about that and let that be food for thought for you during the day, okay? And then the 7th point under your morning routine would be trying to make a good breakfast, and most likely a healthy breakfast. I know it's difficult. I know because I've been there. It can be really difficult, but try as much as possible to stay away from junk and try to make a good breakfast for yourself. Talking to you about that, I personally still struggle with it, but it's something that I push every other day to do. Make yourself a good breakfast, and while you're eating your breakfast, whatever it is you choose to make in the morning, while you're eating your breakfast, try to make a small to-do list. It could be just 2 to 3 items or 5. You can write 5, whatever, 10, whatever, but just try to strike out at least 3 things at the end of the day from your to-do list. I mean, on rough days when you're in a rut, just try to make a small to-do list and strike off like 2 to 3 things on that list by the end of the day. I tell you, it's going to boost your confidence even in that lowest phase of your life. It's going to encourage you. It's going to give you, show you that you are able to achieve even more just from doing those small things on your to-do list. And then, like I always say, this is quite interesting and important for me. Set a reward for yourself when you have a really rough day, when you're in a rut and you have to do a couple of things. You set those small goals for yourself. Also set a reward. The reward could be hanging out with your friends, going out for a movie date by yourself with friends or whatsoever, or just going shopping, buying something that you really like. We all have guilty pleasures, right? Just look into yourself, just look at yourself and think of what your guilty pleasure is, and you can decide to reward yourself that at the end of the day if you do whatever. You could have decided to walk 2,000 steps that day. You're in a rut, but you decided to move your body. You can tell yourself that if you succeed to move your body up to 2,000 steps, you're getting yourself whatever. And at the end of the day, you get that thing for yourself. The idea behind the reward thing is that it gives you something to look forward to. It pushes you to want to get out of bed, to want to do what you say you do just because you want to get that reward at the end of the day. Then the last thing you're going to do for your morning routine, do not forget to get ready for the day. Wake up from bed and do all these things and get ready for the day by showering and maybe dressing up, wearing your makeup or whatsoever. Personally, I had a hard time waking up from bed today. I think I woke up at past 8 or so. It was quite difficult for me to wake up. But when you have those rough days, still try to get up, take a shower, maybe do your makeup, put yourself together. I had to wake up and do all of that, put myself together and sit down to film this video. But yes, it wasn't like if I could choose to, I would want to sleep. But no, I had to film this video, so I had to get out of bed, take a shower, put on some clothes, do my makeup and sit down to record this video. This is what you're supposed to do on those days. You know the days I'm talking about. Do this on those days and you would find a way to get out of that place. Now, let's talk about your midday routine, right? The key is doing something every day if you want to get out of a rut. You need to do something, because the moment you achieve one small thing, it boosts your energy levels. It makes you feel a little bit more confident than you would have thought or felt about yourself prior to achieving that small goal. So do something every day, even on the low days. And like I said, all you need to do is accomplish the first 5 minutes of any task to be able to complete it. I know the day is difficult and you're struggling. You're asking yourself, how do I get out of bed? Now you're out of bed. What do? I just want to lie down on the couch and just watch a movie or whatsoever, or just sleep. Push yourself to do one small thing. All you need is 5 minutes. It could be, I don't know, reading a book. I don't know whatsoever. You could have a task for the day. You could have something you want to do. Just do it for 5 minutes. Open that book and look at it for 3 to 5 minutes, and you find yourself doing what you're supposed to do all over. Like if you had intended to study for an hour or something, when you accomplish the first 5 minutes, you finally push through with that goal. So just stick to the 5 minutes and see what happens. Also, do not forget to eat. I know it is very easy. On these days, we don't want to eat. But eat something, because you need the energy. And don't eat junk. Don't just eat whatever you see. Make a good meal for yourself and eat it. And while you're eating or while you're cooking, you can listen to music. While you're eating, you can watch, I don't know, an episode of your favorite TV show or whatsoever. But make an effort to eat something healthy. The last thing we want to do on that day is to cook. But I promise you, if you try and cook and eat something fresh and healthy, you feel even better. I literally had to set reminders on my phone on eating. There are days where I just feel like, oh, okay, I can't do this. Like, I'm not interested in food. I just want to sleep and do nothing. But what I do is I put a reminder on my phone to eat 3 square meals a day. Like there was a reminder for breakfast. When it rings, I have to go and grab breakfast. A reminder for lunch. When lunchtime rings, I go and look for lunch. Dinner, the same thing. But the honest truth is there are days that it's still going to be really hard for you to keep up to that. Like eat lunch when you're supposed to, eat dinner when you're supposed to. And it's totally okay. The goal here is to make an effort to try to do all of these things. Do the best you can and let the rest go. Just try to do something. If you don't do anything at the end of the day, it's still okay. Give yourself that grace. Do not kill yourself because you did not do what you're supposed to do. It happens to everyone. And then the most important thing in your midday routine will be monitoring your habits and trying to shift your mindset from low vibe to high vibe. When I talk of low vibe, I'm going to be talking of things like regret, anger, jealousy, all those negative gossip and all those things. To high vibe, you have to try to shift your mind within this time, because when you're in a rut, one of the things you mostly suffer from in a rut will be regret, anger, hate, all of those low vibe energies. You have to let them go. You have to try to drop them and shift your mind to, you're going to shift to high vibe frequencies like journaling, meditation, mindfulness practice, affirmations. You're going to shift to all those things that will bring joy into your life than holding on to those things that suck up all the energy in you. Because trust me, sticking with those things that are sucking up energy in you will just make you feel worse. Like it's gonna drain, it's gonna press you dry like an orange and throw away the chaff. So you have to focus on the things that give you joy and just let those things go, because trust me, it doesn't pay, it doesn't help anyone. So yeah, try to shift your vibrational frequency from low vibe during the day to high vibe. I know it's a bit hard, but try to do it, and it starts by monitoring where your mind goes. And if you want to do that effectively, you have to try to meditate, because the goal of meditation is helping you to stay focused. If you meditate, you're a bit focused. You try to stay focused on, where your mind goes to in the course of the day. So in the morning, you have to try to meditate so that you can track where your mind goes to and try to control. The goal is not to become perfect. It's just to shift from the low vibe to the high vibrational frequencies and change your mood, change your energy, or whatsoever. And in between, you can take walks. You must not take walks only in the morning. You can take walks in the afternoon just to distract yourself, just to keep yourself going. And now let's move to the third chapter of this video, which will be your evening routine. On these days, most often we want to start our evening routines at 8 p.m. or a little earlier, whatever. But do create an evening routine for you. This is going to help you to get out of the rut way quicker than not having any routine at all. So the first thing I have for you on your evening routine is journaling. At the end of the day, when you're ready to settle down and eventually go to sleep, do take out, 5 minutes, 10 minutes of your evening and just journal. Keep a daily journal where you write out how your day went, the emotions you went through, and just everything. Just put it down every day. It helps you personally. One day you're going to sit, or towards the end, like when you're getting out of the rut, you're going to sit and read all of the things and probably laugh or something, but it helps you to track your progress. Just imagine looking back 2 weeks later to see where you were on day 1 of your journal and the place where you currently are on the 2-week mark. It helps you to track progress. So at the end of the day, take out 10 minutes. It doesn't take all that time. It wouldn't even take you 10 minutes. Just journal, just write how the day went, how you felt, what triggered you, just whatsoever. Okay? Write all those important things at the end of the day. And point number 2 on your evening routine will be practicing gratitude. Yes, gratitude is very important within this period of your life. If you're in a rut, you want to practice gratitude. You want to be grateful for the things which you prayed for. Most of the things you're living right now are your answered prayers, but you just can't see them because as humans, we generally turn to chase more in life at all times. Like sometimes it's just like we're like, oh, if I get this amount of money, I'll be happy. But the thing we never understand is You can choose to be happy every other day of your life or never be happy, because we are always chasing something, which means that if you want to focus on, if I get this, then I'll be happy, you might probably never be happy. So just be grateful for all the things you have wherever you find yourself in life, because one of the greatest things I've come to realize with life is whether you like it or not, you are exactly where you are meant to be. There are no two things about it. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Just acknowledge the fact that this is where you're meant to be. Be grateful for all that you have at this point in time, because most likely you prayed for these things years ago and you don't even realize that you're living your answered prayers. So be grateful. I can't emphasize on gratitude, but be grateful. And also thank God. Just if you're someone who prays, equally pray within this time, okay? Just try to thank God for giving you the strength to pull through that day, because I'm talking to you from the perspective of someone who knows what it means being in a rut. Sometimes you just pray for the grace to go through one day to the next. That's all. So be grateful and thankful to God for wherever it is that you find yourself at any point in time. And that brings us to the third point under your evening routine. Treat yourself to the rewards that you had set in the day. You know, when you said you were going to accomplish whatever goal, maybe walking 2,000 steps a day, you had given yourself a reward in case you hit the 2,000 mark. So if you hit the 2,000 mark, maybe it was like watch a movie with popcorn. Make yourself some popcorn, sit down and watch a good movie, eat some popcorn, drink whatever it is that you drink. Maybe you're a wine person or just whatever, and have a good time. Maybe it was going out to meet with friends for, I don't know, whatsoever. You go out, hang out with your friends and come back later. It could have been shopping for whatsoever. You can go out and shop for whatever it is that you wanted to get, if you did what you intended to do for the day. And this is another important point. Say your affirmations. Your affirmations will be one of the things that will speed up the process of getting out of a rut, right? Say out those affirmations loud in the mirror until you can believe those things for yourself. Because there's a difference between just saying those things and actually meaning them from your heart, right? Personally, what I do right now is when I brush my teeth, it's my time for affirmations. I try to say my affirmations as I'm brushing my teeth and looking into the mirror, right? It could be whatever time for you. It could be maybe when you lay down in bed and you're getting ready for bed, you say your affirmations out. But just find a time where you say your affirmations out intentionally, like mean what you say, and say it over and over, like repeat them over and over until it becomes real to you. And that, my friend, is going to help you to get out of the rut as quick as possible. And then that brings us to the fifth point of your nighttime routine. Try to do your nighttime skincare routine, right? You might have a couple of products that you use for your nighttime routine. Just try to apply them, wash your face, moisturize your face, and just whatever, and get ready for bed. While you do that, it just gives you time to look at yourself in the mirror and take out that time to be able to appreciate you. Like, always try to have so much contact with the mirror, and don't just look at the mirror blindly. Look into the mirror and try to look at you within that time of your life. Look at you. Try to see what you can change about yourself. Find inspiration even when there is none. The next point would be maybe reading something before, right until you fall asleep, because statistics have shown that so much screen time for bed is quite detrimental to our health, right? It's very much difficult, but I'm slowly trying to incorporate it into my routine as well, trying to read maybe a paragraph or two until I fall asleep at night. Some days I do it at this point and some days I skip it. I just probably scroll until I fall asleep. But if you can, try to read something. It could be a paragraph or two of whatever book you're currently reading right until you fall asleep. And then the next point would be visualization. Try to visualize what your best self will look like, what your best self will act like, react like, talk like. Just try to look into what your best self actually is and compare it to where you are and see the difference. That would give you an insight of how much work you need to put in to become that person that you aspire to. I know you currently be like, oh, I'm in a low phase. How can I eventually be the best self that I am dreaming to become for myself? It is possible. I tell you that for a fact. It is possible because it's all about what goes up in here. If you can control what goes up in here, you can almost change your life immediately. So just try to control what's going on in here, and sit down and have that time where you visualize, you see yourself doing the things you want to do before you fall asleep. See yourself doing exactly what you do on a perfect day, perfect night, a perfect morning. Look at what a perfect day of your life looks like, a perfect month of your life looks like, a perfect evening of your life looks like. Just visualize all of that. The longer you play those things in your head for you. So try to visualize right before you fall asleep, or you could do that in the morning, whatever works for you. But particularly, I love doing that in the evening right before I fall asleep. And if you're already in a low phase, one thing I recommend again is trying a nighttime meditation. Not just in the morning, but also at night. Try to meditate again at night. It could be just 2 or 3 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever works for you. But just try to sit down and meditate right before you fall asleep. Just try to settle your mind, put your mind to rest before you go to bed. You don't want to go to bed with your mind running all over the place. Because trust me, when you're in a rut, you're not doing a lot of things you're supposed to be doing. And regardless of the fact that you're in a rut, you have a conscience that's going to beat you for not doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. But still, you're not going to find the motivation to do what you're supposed to do. So, taking this time to meditate helps you with your focus, because if you can control your mind, you can get out of that place and you can live the life you've always dreamed of. The last thing I have to say, guys, to top it all up, don't forget to say a nighttime prayer. It could be just a small prayer or whatsoever. If you're a Christian, just say a prayer, and before you go to bed, commit your night into God's hands. Thank Him for the day well spent, for you being able to do the small things that you would not have thought that you could do. Just thank God for those things before you go and get some sleep. I strongly believe in that, and I recommend it if you're someone who is open for that. That's it for this video, and a bonus point I'm going to put on all of this is consistency. If you watch my videos, there's one thing you would have known that is particular with me right now. That would be consistency, because I believe that anything you want to achieve is possible if only you can stay consistent to the work you're putting in. Because most often you're not going to get results if you just start and quit right before success comes. So do this every other day until you find yourself gradually coming out of whatever rut it is that you were in, and you regain all the motivation that you needed and you take full control of your life. One thing I'm going to tell you is that it is possible. You can do that. So many people have done it, and you can do it. If you're watching me right now and you're at that point in your life where you feel like there's no hope for you, I'm just here to encourage you and let you know that there is hope. Just take those small steps, those baby steps, and eventually you're going to rise above whatever it is going on in your life right now. And I want you to also understand that you are right where you need to be at this point in your life, regardless of what is going on. Because personally, I believe, and it is written in the Bible in the book of Romans 8 verse 28, that all things happen for the good of those who love God and are called according to His purpose. So if you are someone who believes in God and you love God, you will know that whatever is happening to you is happening for a greater good. Sometimes you have to fall so low to be able to rise up, or to be able to get to a point in life where you never have thought you would get to. So yeah, that is it. Do not pressure yourself. Do not beat yourself because you are wherever you find yourself. Even the greatest people have gotten into ruts, but the difference is that they woke up. It is not about falling. It is what you do after falling. You can choose to fall and sleep or lie down there forever, and you can choose to fall and rise up again and keep walking. The goal is to never lose focus and keep walking, even when you fall. And also, I was going to add to the fact that if this low phase continues in your life, of course you would have seen a doctor, right? If you haven't seen a doctor, maybe you should consider seeing a doctor, getting a therapist or whatever, someone you can talk to and all of that. And yeah, if you're in a low phase of your life, I pray that you find healing. I pray that you regain the motivation that you need to be able to go on with your life as usual, and just don't relent your efforts and believe in yourself. You are able to do whatever it is that you want to do. Thank you guys if you watch up until this point. I really appreciate you guys for watching this video through to the end, considering the fact that people's attention spans have become so low. I appreciate you for watching this video. I hope you find something here that helps you through this phase of your life, and I wish you a speedy recovery, or I wish you, I don't know, all the best in this phase. that brings us to the end of this video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to become a part of our community. And also, guys, please share the video with your friends, share the video with someone who needs to see this right now, and comment down below. Let's see your experience with things like this. Okay, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in our very next video. Until then, guys, do stay focused and stay blessed. Sending you so much love, guys. Bye.